We will call this meeting to order. Before we get started on the agenda that's been in print, I wanted to take a minute and share information. Dennis O'Neill passed away November 12th, 2023. I know several of us went to visitation, but he meant a great deal to this commission, both in its infancy and then as a chairman and then back as a board member. But nonetheless, I wanted everyone here to know a little bit more about him on this side of the curtain. So I asked Roger if he would, since he works at the university and worked hand in hand with Dennis, and of course here as well. So it's your floor.
You know, on a personal note, Dennis was three things to me. He was a colleague. He was my mentor. When I first came to MTSU all those years ago, he took me under his wing and, helped guide me through the process. He was a colleague and a friend, no doubt about it. He was also a friend to Murfreesboro, to our community. As Tommy mentioned, his time here on the commission. He was also heavily involved in is it Dave Macon? Yeah, Dave Macon days. And to our university, too. He had a stellar career, retired emeritus. I think about the thousands of students' lives he touched over the decades that he taught. Alan, was he one of your professors?
He was. He was actually the first professor I met when I started MTSU. He was my advisor. So
Yeah.
it's kind of ironic how I came to Murfreesboro, and he was the first person I met on campus, and then he became a mentor of mine, too, and on the cable commissions. It's kind of ironic how that
He loved
turned
playing the role of mentor. He truly did. And he loved his students. He will be sorely missed, no doubt.
No doubt about it. Thank you, Roger.
Sure.
We'll start with the agenda. First item on the agenda is to discuss the public comment on actionable agenda items. Alan, I'm going to turn that over to you so you can give us all the details.
Okay, yeah, this is something new that's on all the boards and commission agendas now. This allows the public to be able to comment on any actionable items that are on any agenda throughout the city. And they go on a website and sign up to be able to speak. And for this particular meeting, we've had no requests for people to speak. So we can move on from that item.
Gotcha.
But that'll be on the agendas going forward
I'm
every.
sure they'll be lined up next year. We need to create a little controversy. We need to get the seats filled up with something, signs or whatever, a little publicity. Item number 2, consider the minutes of the April 10th, 2023 meeting. Anyone bring that to your attention for passage? Anyone got any additions or corrections to those minutes? Then can I hear a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second?
Seconded.
Okay. Now we have to take roll call.
Ms. Averwater?
Aye.
Dr. Heinrich?
Aye.
Mr. Richardson?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Chairman Campbell?
All right, thank you. Item number 3, which is primarily why we're here today, to conduct a public hearing to evaluate MTSU's use of both educational access channels as they relate to the public good, signal quality, and other relevant factors. Notice of public hearing was published in the February 27, 2024 issue of the local newspaper. So that being said, Alan, we just simply need to open the floor for discussion, starting with who's coming first.
That's correct. I'll give a little background. So
Sure.
the Comcast franchise agreement calls for 2 MTSU channels. A number of years ago, they were only utilizing one. They came to the city and asked to utilize the second one as well. The city agreed to that, subject to having this annual review and public hearing, since they were going from 1 channel to 2 channels. So that's really why we're here today and why we're going through this process. So they have submitted, like I said, it's been publicized. They've submitted their packet information for you to review and look at, and then you need to conduct this public hearing. I think we have 2 representatives from MTSU that are here that can speak before you kind of open it up for the rest.
Who gets the first opportunity?
Bob Gordon, I believe.
Okay.
Well, hi again. A year later, here we are. I am the faculty advisor towards MT10, for MT10, and I'll give you an update about what we have done and what we're about to do. And hopefully that meets with your approval. For over 40 years, MT10 was a student-managed television station with student management changing each year. In September of 2021, the structure changed, and the student organization, which produced programs and managed the MT10, became Blue Raider Student Television. It's a student organization that just produces television shows, but they don't manage the television station. I had found that that was kind of a challenge each year because they changed, and many of the students that were in the club weren't necessarily interested in managing TV stations. So that could cause a certain amount of flexibility in the quality level of the programming. So we thought this change would be worthwhile. In the spring of 2022, MTSU invested and put online a nearly an $11,000 new master control system. I am the programmer of that at this point. I essentially program the station. I take the programs that the students make and we program them, and it's a very easy system to work with. I can monitor it from wherever I am. It has the capability of doing live television. Most of the things that we do are pre-recorded and they play back later. The broadcast day was changed from 9 a.m. to midnight to 24 hours a day, so it programs all the time. Sometimes if I forget, it automatically goes to NASA, which is interesting, sometimes more interesting than the material we produce. Other than National Public Service announcements and the Marketing and Communication Department's monthly Out of the Blue series, all MT10 programming is produced by students from the Media Arts Department. It's a wide variety of things, everything from game shows to cooking shows to how-to shows to music shows, sports talk shows, exercise shows, and a wide variety of MTSU sports: football, basketball, volleyball, soccer, softball. All these shows are produced by live production classes. MT10 also airs MTSU football and basketball, which is produced by an extracurricular organization called Media Arts Productions. The students that are in the classes and the students that are in Media Arts Productions are many times the same. So the quality level is pretty much equal. We also air other student crewed positions, such as the TSSAA Boys and Girls Multi-Divisional Basketball Championships. It's 4 games in a day on 2 weekends during spring break. We did the Judd's Final Concert Red Carpet Special, the 2024 Mid-South Regional Emmy Awards. We did that this year, which is the first time. And we just yesterday did the Conference USA Tennis Tournament, 27 games in a day and a half. That's one reason why I'm using this now. The spirit is willing, but the body said that's enough. We plan to rebrand MT10 as MTSU Media Arts Channel. Since the programming is largely produced by media arts students, this will help the department in its recruitment and public relations efforts. We plan to expand our programming to go beyond live production, which is all that I do, and include more student films, documentaries, animation, and photographic work. We currently air episodes of Media Arts Spotlight, which showcases such work. We also plan to air creative work by the media arts faculty. You can see in the report that I sent you, 530 program elements, or at least at the time of this writing. It shows kind of the variety of the things that we air on MT10. I asked Alan to give you an update of what we just did this year, which is 65 athletic events, 122 music performances, and 3 special events. This week alone, we did 3 softball games for ESPN, the 27-game tennis tournament yesterday. We did the Spare concert last Friday. We're doing the signature event concert with Khalid Wednesday, and then we do Raiders' Choice Awards on Thursday. And then I get my hip replaced. So all of that material airs on MT10. And it's all produced by 35 live production students, myself, and 2 staff engineers. So we stay busy. Our slogan for live production is that multicam never sleeps, which is pretty accurate, I think. So that's my report, and I'm happy to take any questions or comments.
Anybody got any questions?
I know from talking to Mr. Gordon about, on your desk, you have the list of all the different football games and other sporting events and musical events. They're originally televised live either on ESPN or ABC, and then they replay on the MTSU channels.
Mr. Chairman, I think they do extraordinary work and continue to do extraordinary work, and we're grateful for that. I'm also eager to see more student arts-based documentaries, shorts, and productions like that. I think that's going to be incredible. What an outlet for our students. What a exposure to give to them and to really immerse them deep into what it means to be a creative and put it out there for consumption. I think it's extraordinary.
Well, we are very blessed. We have strong department, college, and university support. I really can't think of another university that does what we do, has the equipment we have, the faculty orientation and commitment that we have. I have students. The thing that makes it worthwhile is that, you know, for example, I have had a student who was the general manager of Blue Raider Student Television last year. He graduated in May, and that summer, just within a month, he was the chief video engineer for the Queen Tour. I've got another student that graduated 2 years ago. He was in that role for Justin Bieber. Then he went to Carrie Underwood, and now he's in that role for the Beyonce Tour, 26 cameras. Other students are directing for the Motley Crue Def Leppard Tour, for Iggy Azalea, for Luke Bryant. It's not, to maybe some small degree, the program and the opportunities we give them, but it's mostly because of their skill set and their commitment. They live, eat, and breathe it, and it's good for them not only to take the classes, but to do the projects they do for MT10 and Media Arts Productions. Those that invest that much time rewarded quickly, and that's really why we do this. You know, I find that our product is employed graduates. And so I'm very thankful that we have a number of students that do really well, really quickly. And we have other ones that you might be aware of. You know, Nick Duggar, TNDV, he used to live in the truck that we had. Now he owns 30, and he does network shows everywhere. You know, Alan Mills, Adam Mills is the same thing with high-end TV. So a number of graduates from our program own companies. They're all on tour. They're working for the Predators, the Titans, the Sounds, Memphis Grizzlies, TBN. So it's really great that you give us the opportunity to allow them to do more work and to allow the faculty not to sleep very much.
Sorry about that, Bob.
Okay.
I got a quick question.
Yes.
How many students are involved with Bonnaroo?
Well, that's going to be that's interesting. You know, when we started that in 2015, Bonnaroo allowed us to be on a tiny little stage with acts that nobody heard of, that they didn't have any television production at all. So it was just a nice community outreach and an opportunity for students to play with the live festival. And 3 years ago, they asked us to do one of their other stages, which was on Hulu. They brought in a professional director, because, I think that makes sense because we're just college students, to risk that with college students. It went well enough that last year they put us on 2 stages where we did 30 concerts in 4 days. 29 of them were on Hulu. And then in a month and a half, we'll be out there on 2 stages, 2 bigger stages. We'll do 40% of all the concerts at Bonnaroo. We'll do 53 concerts in 4 days on Hulu and on IMAX screens on each stage. So as time goes on, they entrust us with more and more. And on the other 3 stages are all professionals, and on our stages, they're all students. So that's a longer answer to your question. We'll probably have between my class, which is the television side, and Professor Fleming's class, which is the audio side, probably 35. But we'll be doing 16 shows a day from 2 p.m. until 2 a.m. out in either the 90-degree weather or in the mud, depending on what happens. We've had both. So it's been an interesting experience. I'm not the demographic for Bonnaroo, and I've been there for I don't know how many years, so nothing shocks me anymore. Once you see a middle-aged man in a banana suit, you've seen about everything you want to see.
Anyone got any additional questions or comments? No? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Enjoyed
very
seeing
much.
yesterday, especially after the win.
Yeah, thank you.
That was
I'm back to class. They're doing a band in the studio now, so I had to make sure they're not blowing up anything. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Ty,
All right. Good morning.
good morning
Good
to
morning.
you.
Good day.
I really appreciate this opportunity to give you a couple of highlights on True Blue TV's stewardship of Channel 9 in 2023. I know, mine's always longer than his, so I'm going to throw away a couple of the pages, get right into it. The public good criterion 1, True Blue TV served the citizens of Murfreesboro and the university community in 2023 by producing unique educational, informational, and entertainment programming to broadcast on Channel 9. So this year, I'd just like to highlight our effort to increase our live programming. We're swiveling a little bit to trying to present as many of the live events on campus as we can. That includes Dr. Cornel West's State of the Union address this year, which was a big deal. It's all the commencements. It's the Shelbyville Airport, MTSU Aerospace announcement, all the board of trustees, and the board of trustees committee meetings. Those are all, we air those live and replay them, and of course the board of trustees on their website, we have it where you can watch it whenever you want to. The rest of the stuff I try to put on our video on demand page on the True Blue TV website. And we increased our closed captioning from 70 to 73%, so we're marching on that. Not as fast as I would love, but my kids are a very dedicated cadre of captioners, and they're just captioning their little fingers to the bone. And we got a couple of new shows from the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, their Outdoor Journal show and their Tennessee Wildcast show that we're airing weekly. Signal quality. This year, Comcast had to do some updates in the way they deliver all the signals to Nashville. So they changed it to a digital throughput. And what we were doing is we had our digital signal that we changed to analog and put on the fiber to send to Old Salem Road. Now they have fiber equipment, they have digital equipment that in, so I had to update our equipment to make it just a digital signal all the way through. So it's what you call a HD, oh no, I've lost my brain. But it's a standard high definition signal in 720p, and it goes all the way to them now. They ship it to Nashville, and then Nashville has a giant server farm that's sending it out to everybody else. So the picture quality's gone up, but it's gone into a little smaller part of the screen, and unfortunately that's part of the digital transfer. We can't trick the encoders to squeeze the screen and then stretch it back out like we used to and have full screen even though it was standard def. But we're working on that. One of the reasons we did it was to make sure that we maintained the closed captioning. The analog signal, when they were converting it back to digital, that would block the closed captioning. So instead of changing the closed captioning from digital to analog and send it, I now just send the digital all the way straight through, and it goes through their equipment and appears on the screen. We've also unveiled our new Amazon Fire app that's free, and we have new iOS and Android phone apps, so our cable viewers can see the good MTSU and TrueBlue TV goodness, not only when they're at home. So, and it also is one of the ways I maintain a monitoring the station is I can now see it anywhere I want because I've got my phone app. Other relevant factors, now this is where I'll throw away a couple of pages. This year, let me highlight a couple of our partnerships. Of course, we still continue to expand the outreach of the university. We continue to produce high-quality educational and community programs. We continue to extend the outreach of Murfreesboro and Rutherford County. And I've already mentioned the closed captioning, which broadens opportunities not just for our students, but for our viewers. A lot of people are using closed captioning in a lot of different venues now. Two projects have been really fun, and it's the College of Education, WKRN Channel 2, their Local on 2 show. We produced about 10 or 11 segments that were about MTSU and different ways that our viewers could extend their education. Each week on Wednesday captured a different aspect, a different program on campus that was for non-traditional students, nurses, teachers, law enforcement, people who have been out in the industry for a while and want to come back and finish their degrees. We've had a lot of success with that. That's been a blast. And then the other one is Take a Titan to School Day, which has been a wonderful partnership with our College of Education, WKRN, and after a while, Hattie B's Chicken. And the students, Rutherford County students in elementary and middle grades, enter the contest and with the College of Ed, and if they win, their classroom wins, one of their students win, then they get to have a Titan come and stay with them during the day, and they have educational activities, games, fun. The Titan participates in all of it. The teachers are excited, the kids are excited, our professors are really excited, and the Titans are, every one of the players are awesome, and they are really giving the kids an overview of why my teachers were important to me and helped me get where I am. So it's all educational, and they get free lunch at Hattie B's, and a news crew that videotapes the whole thing, or not videotapes, sorry, showing my age. that record the whole thing and edit it, and then they show it on Wednesday on Local on 2 is one of the segments. So that's been a blast. And I'll just mention one quick one with our College of Music faculty and the Stone River, MTSU Stone River Chamber players and third graders from St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church who came and performed The Mousewife, opera for younger audiences, and the kids from the school, the third graders, they were all of the 24 mouse children, and it was a awesome, wonderful, cute. Of course, with the chamber players and the performers and the professors who are singing and stuff, everything was just top notch. So we recorded it in Hinton Hall, the fifth and final performance, and we edited it for them, and then we gave it to them, and we aired it on Thanksgiving morning. So that was a big fun thing. First question, how many programs of non-repeat educational programming on Channel 9 were provided to Murfreesboro cable subscribers? 234 television episodes, totaling 172 hours. And like you would say, how is that possible? That's like a show a day, every day and a half or every day and a third. Well, we had some help. The Center for Educational Media, our long-term partners, and where my control room is housed, gave us 31 educational programs for teachers. And Blue Raider Athletics gave us 55 programs, and they mostly were short press conferences and stuff, but it does include full baseball games and full football games and other events like that they were talking about, like the Raider Choice Awards. I'll get to broadcast that either live or afterwards. So that helped us. What were some of these programs? Well, the convocation ceremony we do every year is a big deal for us. The guest author was Mr. Bruce Feller, author of Life is in the Transitions. I mentioned the fall, summer, spring commencements, both live, rebroadcast, and on demand. This year we had the Women's History keynote by CBS Sunday morning contributor and comedian Nancy Giles, which was a big deal, was a big win for MTSU. Women's History Month this year was by Ilyasa Shabazz, who is one of Malcolm X's daughters. So again, with Dr. Cornel West and these two, it was just an amazing month. And we'll take all of these and we'll show them during the year, but we'll also save them for next year's Women's History Month and our programming for African American History Month next month. And we're trying to highlight more months, more special months on True Blue TV. We're just kind of building up. I mentioned Dr. Cornel West. And we're still in partnership with Opryland Entertainment doing the Ryman Plaza sidewalk set. This will be about the 5th year that we do that. And those are MTSU songwriter students from other universities like Belmont stuff. And we videotape their conferences at the plaza and edit those shows, and then I get to air them. So it gives a little more output to everybody on their songs and stuff. Let's see if. Let me say we did another. This is the second part of the question. We did 105 commercially produced educational titles this year for 68 hours. And we did 637 new free programs that we acquired, totaling 620 hours. So this is how we supplement the things that we are doing live and the things that we are producing with other educational programming, that being that what other educational programming is being cablecast And these are some of the ones that we do. I'll just mention a couple of partners. One of our longest vendors has been Ambrose Video, and they do thousands of educational videos. And they give us our programs like this, like The Genius of African American Dance, our Computer to AI History, our Neurobiology, a study of the human brain. This is where we get these really deep educational series from, and not just one program. They do documentaries also, like the obesity, the deadly obesity epidemic that will air once in a while in our health sections of this calendar. Then the newest one is Skeptoid Media, which is a 503c educational group. We've been showing their little short videos, In Fact and The Feeding Tube. These are little scientific 3-minute, 4-minute videos that we'll use as interstitial between some of the health shows, some of the science shows that we air regularly. But this year, I've been in communication with them for years, and this year I was able to get them to give us their documentaries that they have. And so we are the only PEG channel that I know of that now have their four award-winning documentaries, and the newest one, the UFO movie they don't want you to see. We're going to be airing that. We're going to do a live broadcast premiere of that. Now, it's available in other places. It's available on Netflix, and it's probably available on YouTube by now. But we're going to be the only ones that can do a live broadcast. I mean, a broadcast premiere. And so I was super tickled to get those. So that's like my new thing. We share our programming on Telview and on PEG Media. And PEG Media, we've shared, oh gosh, let me see where I put it. We've shared just our Out of the Blue show on PEG Media 1,118 times to date. That's to 74 stations, and in 20 states, it's reached, this is new last year, I think the first time I could say this, they've reached 430,977,299 households. They don't tell me how many households people watched, but that number is so astronomical. Our other programs besides Out of the Blue, we share a lot of our older programs, and to date, it's been those have been shared 5,246 times with 665 stations in 42 states, including Alabama, and Cape Town, South Africa. And that is 2,212,266,150 households, and that's just the MTSU concert series. Just one of our series. So PEG Media is probably the cheapest way to publicize Murfreesboro and Rutherford County and MTSU than there ever has been. I sponsor it with our budget, and they're just paying for like the server charge of $1 to get this 1 hour show that we produced, or our 2-hour concert. And it's really great to look at the numbers every month. It's like maybe I'm not getting that many hits on social media, or maybe I don't have access to a Nielsen, but I do have access to hits on like Roku and things like that. It's not huge. We're not lighting the world on fire, but we're doing something good, and that's what keeps me going. We did the same thing with Telview, and we shared our shows 345 times to over 100 community stations, and then Out of the Blue was shared with 177 stations, and these are different stations than the PEG Media group. These are ones that are in the Telview market group that we all share low-cost programming with each other, because they're mostly community stations. And the other thing that we do is we don't just borrow from them. We get things, we don't just give them things, we get things. So a couple of the programs that we've gotten is This is America in the World with Dennis Wholey, which is a national program. And what was the other one? On PEG Media is Crowhaven Productions, who shared their creature feature show that we show every weekend, Saturday nights at 10 o'clock. And it's just like you remember the creature feature show with the goofy guests that, pop in and around the commercials and do the skits and interview guests and read the mail and stuff. Between the movie, last night's horror movie was the People Across the Lake, 1988. All these people from sitcoms that the actors, but you can't quite remember who they are. Like, was that Starsky Hutch? No. Yeah. But, and everything old. It's a wonderful group. Let's see. What new, if any, non-locally produced programs are being planned during 2024? Let me mention White House Chronicle, which is another really famous and important show. Despite its name, it's not really about the White House. It's not politics. It's Llewellyn King. It's syndicated on Voice of America and other PEG stations, and has an illustrious career. And it covers more things that are more than just the political. They're more of national issues. For instance, the housing market crisis right now and the fragility of the electrical system in the United States and things like that. I also want to mention Deutsche Welle, who is one of our groups. I'm very happy to have these shows. We show a couple of different ones. Their health show is really well produced. It's called In Good Shape. They have an internet show and computer show called Shift. My favorite one is Tomorrow Today, which is like the Popular Mechanics tech show, science show. But they have ones on hard-hitting world news, lifestyle and culture, and they are all wonderfully produced, high quality, and we get a lot of good feedback on those. How many months out of the year is Channel 9 programming locally produced educational content? 12 months a year, all the time, 24/7. We don't really, our educational mission doesn't really stop. In fact, during the summer, with a lot of our professors now having time, since the school year, a lot of our teachers having time to actually do something because school's out, then we kind of ramp up a little bit during the summer. And one of the last one I really wanted to mention was our work with the Charlie and Hazel Daniels Veterans and Military Family Center. We do their graduating veterans stole ceremony. We do the annual Impact celebration. We do their Memorial Day service and their 9/11 remembrance. And then we also do the show with the Opryland, the Opry House for their veterans salute to the veterans at the Opry House every year. So we're really happy to do all that. And the last one, for a technical standpoint, how's the channel monitored? The station's continuously monitored in offices at different places on campus, LRC, JUB, and COPE. If anything happens, I'm contacted, and I'll work with Bridge Digital or Playbox Media, who's the vendor for our video servers, or the Center for Educational Media's engineers, and we'll get it back on the air, get it rectified. At night, I can remote desktop to take care of almost any problem. I just monitor the station. I got a Roku box, Amazon box. I got my phone now. I can just turn it on and say, oh yeah, we're on the air. And so I can take care of most of any problem. Our new video servers and our redundant video servers are set to broadcast total info news headlines if they notice a corrupt file or if one of the servers has gone down. I'll get an alert, and I'm close enough to campus where I can just pop over and press a button if I got to, or reboot something. But we have a diesel generator on the building, so its power never goes out, and we've got battery backups in the control room on each rack so that, things stay on the air. There's at least a signal. In fact, we were converted first, and then I believe Channel 3 was converted next at Comcast because we were very, very reliable in our signal being turned on 24/7. And while that was a problem, I thought, oh, well, that's nice. Somebody's noticing our reliability. But I don't know where I was going with that. I'm sorry. But anyway, that's everything I have. Thank you all very much, and I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Every year, y'all outdo yourself.
Oh, thank you.
So I want to know what you're going to do next year that's going to outdo this year.
Oh, everybody's going to
Magic
have their
you
own.
got for next year.
Oh, we're all going to. No, it's all going to be like 3D hologram. Yeah. There's a lot of different things I want to do. It's been really neat that I could get the station on more outputs. We go to Comcast, but then Comcast lends the signal to DTC over that way, and they lend it to United Communications over that way, and that's how we get around the 6 surrounding counties that we have. I'd like to even get it even more. And I'd like to have more things. I mean, between what these guys are doing that's so fantastic, I'm just blown away every year, and what y'all are doing every day with Channel 3, Murfreesboro's covered. But I still would like to get a little more local Murfreesboro into my programming. These guys have been great enough to share programming with us, and I'll be glad to share anything with them. And we don't want to duplicate what we're doing, but if I could show it at night, I'd love to fill in all my hours during the evening instead of total info. Right now, Saturday, after midnight Saturday and after midnight Sunday are the only ones that I have currently going full steam, broadcasts. But I'm working to fill in those those after midnight hours until 6 in the morning. So that's going to be my big push, along with continuing the closed captioning. And I'm really working on getting the closed captioning for everything we have. We've kind of hit the low-hanging fruit, and now every closed captioning project we have is like the 2.5-hour movie, or it's Dr. Cornel West for 2 hours. And wonderful man, but when he gets passionate, the students have to come and say, what do you say? So, but yeah, those kind of things are what I'm still working at, and getting it more and more professional, getting more and more things. When you stumble upon Channel 9, you're not immediately, oh, this must be a community station. You'll still see in-station promos. I'm trying to professionalize our schedule. Our gear that used to do the schedule went to end of life. So right now I've just got like an Excel spreadsheet up there, but I'm working with our vendors to see, can I get a more interactive schedule? Because that's how, since Comcast can't really do our schedule, and people in the commission for a long time saw me struggle for 5 years, 7 years on the getting our information on the on-screen guide. We got it for one weekend, and then they realized that the video wasn't changing, but we took over, our little station right here took over every Channel 9 in the state of Tennessee. And so they said, oh, we can't do that. That's why we have government channel. He says, but if you were on Channel 97, then we could put you. I'm like, well, give me Channel 97. Yeah, but then COVID hit and nothing ever happened. But that being said, our schedule is on DTC and United Communications because their setup isn't, their on-screen guide isn't tied up in the same system that Comcast uses, which, since that's a later addition, I understand is a different system than the video distribution. So they don't necessarily match. But yeah, I'm gung-ho. I'm ready to do this for another 15 years.
There you go.
Anyone else have any questions for Ty? James?
Did I wear you all out? Good.
Thank you, Ty.
Thank you all.
If there's not any other questions or discussion, we'll close this hearing. And now we need to, I'll entertain a motion to accept both the application for Channel 9 and Channel 10. Do that in one vote. That's acceptable. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Alan, this is a roll call vote, correct?
That's right.
Okay, you're on.
Ms. Ava Water,
Aye.
Dr. Heinrich,
Aye.
Mr. Richardson,
Aye.
Mr. Brown,
Aye.
Chairman Campbell.
Aye. Thank you, Ty. Thank you for your work.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll move on to the fifth item. Alan, you're on board for
Okay.
staff reports and comments.
Just a
Got it.
few things here. In your packet, I included, we've had 8 Comcast complaints since we met a year ago. All of those have been addressed by Comcast and taken care of. And a few highlights of things we've done over the past year, as far as city TV goes. We're averaging around 200 or so hours of public meeting coverage and locally produced programs a year. That equates to around 500 or so total meetings and productions that we're doing. The number of views that we're getting on YouTube, Facebook, the city website, and the city TV apps a year are averaging around 500,000 views of various meetings and programs of that nature. And something new that we've started just in the past few years is podcasting. So we started that, and that's averaging around 500 or so downloads a year of podcasting shows that we're doing. Some of the podcasting shows we're doing includes something called The Insider with the Public Information Officer, which kind of highlights different things that are going on within the city. A new one we started was 10 Code with the Public Safety, and that's with Larry Flowers with the Public Safety Information Officer there, highlighting things that are going on with public safety, both fire and police. And a new one we just started this month was Talking Parks, which highlights a lot of things that are going on with parks and recreation. There's a lot of interest in that. So that's something, a new podcast we're doing. So we're kind of venturing out away from city TV some and into the podcasting realm. Some things that we covered live in addition to the city meetings this past year, the Miracle League All-Star Games, the Christmas Parade, and we just recently did the Read to Be Spelling Bee that took place at Patterson. I believe that was last weekend. City staff won 6 National Government Programming Awards this past year and 2 Telly Awards. A couple of things that going forward in the next couple of months, we'll have candidate forums for city council and city school board that'll take place here in the council chambers. That'll be put on by the League of Women Voters, and we'll be the ones that will be broadcasting those. And just something I highlight, closed captioning. We're now closed captioning all of the city meetings now, so those are available via closed captioning. And we also index all of the meetings with the agenda items, so if you want to go back and watch the meeting on the city's website, and if you're looking for a particular item, you'll be able to click on that agenda item and it'll take you straight to it within the video instead of having to find what you might be interested in.
Outstanding.
There's a lot more information in the report I provided that gives a lot more details about every single program we've done over the past year if you wanted to review that in your leisure.
All right. Is there any other business to come before the commission? Before we adjourn, let me just say it once again, how much I appreciate y'all's willingness to serve on the Cable Commission, and look forward to another year.
Absolutely.
If there's nothing else, we stand adjourned.